The office door clicked shut behind them, the sound echoing in the silence between heartbeats. "You're my boss, we shouldn't do this," Michael whispered, his back against the wall, thoughts of his daughter's future flashing through his mind. Sophia stepped closer, her eyes never leaving his. "You're so damn hot," she replied, her voice steady with conviction, "and I've never been more certain about anything in my life." If you're enjoying this story of forbidden workplace romance and the complexities of single parenthood, please hit that like button and subscribe for more emotional journeys that explore the messy reality of modern relationships. Michael Sullivan never planned on being a single father at 34. He certainly never imagined falling for his boss. Life had already thrown enough curveballs his way after his wife's sudden death 3 years ago, leaving him alone to raise their daughter Emma, now 7. The marketing firm job was supposed to be just that, a job. A stable income to provide for Emma, nothing more. Sophia Chen had built her advertising agency from the ground up, earning respect in an industry dominated by old money connections and even older attitudes. At 38, she had everything she'd ever worked for, except someone to share it with. Romance had always taken a backseat to ambition, a sacrifice she'd made willingly until Michael walked into her interview room with his quiet confidence and portfolio that spoke volumes about his talent. Their professional relationship began seamlessly. Michael's creative direction breathed fresh life into campaigns, while Sophia's strategic brilliance gave structure to his ideas. They worked late nights perfecting pitches, sharing takeout dinners over spreadsheets and storyboards. It was during these moments, when the office emptied and the city lights twinkled through the windows, that the lines began to blur. "Daddy, is Miss Sophia coming for dinner again?" Emma asked one evening, her small hands carefully setting an extra place at their modest dining table. The innocent question made Michael pause. When had his boss become such a fixture in their lives that his daughter expected her presence? The truth was, Sophia had slowly woven herself into their world. She'd shown up with soup when Emma caught the flu. She'd attended Emma's school play, cheering louder than anyone when Emma delivered her 2 lines perfectly. She remembered Emma's allergies and favorite colors. She remembered Michael's coffee order and the anniversary of his wife's passing, quietly leaving a small potted plant on his desk that day with a note that simply read, "Growth continues, even through grief." But workplace romances were complicated. Power dynamics made them messy. Michael had seen careers derailed by them. As a single father, he couldn't afford risks. Emma depended on him entirely. "We need to talk about what's happening between us," Michael finally said one evening as they closed up the office after everyone had left. The major client presentation had gone brilliantly that afternoon, largely thanks to their combined efforts. "Nothing's happening," Sophia replied too quickly, shuffling papers that didn't need organizing. "That's exactly the problem," Michael said softly. "Because something should be." The confession hung in the air between them, heavy with possibility and fear. Sophia's carefully constructed professional facade cracked, revealing vulnerability she rarely showed. "You're my employee, Michael. I'm your boss. There are a dozen reasons why this is a terrible idea. I know. I've listed them all in my head 100 times. And there's Emma to consider. She's at the top of that list." Sophia moved closer, her professional resolve wavering. "You're a package deal. I understand that. A complicated package with a lot of history and responsibility," Michael added. "I've never been afraid of complicated." Her hand reached for his, then hesitated. "But I am afraid of ruining what we have, professionally and personally." The tension between them had been building for months, acknowledged in lingering glances and conversations that stretched beyond work topics. Both recognized the risk. Both understood the potential fallout. "I should go," Michael said, reaching for his jacket. "Emma's waiting with the sitter." Sophia nodded, maintaining the professional distance that had become increasingly difficult to preserve. But as Michael reached the door, she called out. "Would you and Emma like to come to the art festival this weekend? Not as colleagues. Not as boss and employee. Just as people. The weekend at the art festival changed everything. Away from the office, with Emma running excitedly between interactive exhibits, they allowed themselves to simply be. Michael watched as Sophia helped Emma create a clay sculpture, their heads bent together in concentration, and felt something shift in his chest, a space opening where grief had long resided. "She's wonderful with Emma," Michael's sister commented when she picked Emma up that evening for a sleepover with her cousins. "And the way she looks at you when you're not watching, that's not a boss looking at an employee." That night, without the buffer of Emma or work between them, they finally confronted the feelings they'd been dancing around. Over dinner at Sophia's apartment, the conversation flowed from work to dreams to fears. "I've built my company on professionalism and merit," Sophia confessed. "If we do this, if we cross this line, people will talk. They'll say you got promotions because we're involved. They'll question every decision I make regarding your career." "I can find another job," Michael offered. "That's not fair to you. Your work is brilliant." "Nothing about this situation is fair," Michael said. "But at some point, we have to decide if what we could have is worth navigating the unfairness." The weight of their potential relationship hung between them, the professional complications, the personal entanglements, the responsibility of bringing someone new into Emma's life. Neither took the decision lightly. "Emma asked me if you were my girlfriend," Michael admitted. "I didn't know what to tell her." Sophia's breath caught. "What do you want to tell her?" "The truth. That I care about you. That I'm scared of messing this up. That relationships are complicated for grown-ups. And what about us? What are we, Michael?" The question led them to Sophia's office the following Monday, after hours, where Michael found himself backed against the wall, torn between professional propriety and personal desire. "You're my boss, we shouldn't do this," he whispered, thinking of all the complications, all the potential fallout. "You're so damn hot," she replied, her usual corporate polish giving way to raw honesty, "and I've never been more certain about anything in my life." Their first kiss was both an ending and a beginning, the conclusion of months of uncertainty and the start of something neither had planned for. The following weeks brought expected challenges. They kept their relationship private at first, establishing boundaries between their professional and personal lives. Michael insisted on maintaining his regular performance reviews with the HR director present. Sophia recused herself from decisions directly affecting his compensation. But office rumors spread quickly. Some colleagues were supportive, others were skeptical. The whispers grew louder when Michael landed a major account, fairly, through his own talent and hard work, but the achievement was tainted by implications of favoritism. "Maybe I should look for another position," Michael suggested after a particularly difficult day of navigating office politics. "Running away isn't the answer," Sophia countered. "We haven't done anything wrong." "Difficult, yes. Complicated, absolutely. But not wrong." The real test came when Emma developed appendicitis, requiring emergency surgery. Michael called Sophia in panic from the hospital, and she arrived within minutes, staying through the night as they waited for Emma to emerge from recovery. When Emma finally opened her eyes, groggy from anesthesia, she reached for both Michael and Sophia. "My two favorite people," she mumbled before drifting back to sleep. In that sterile hospital room, watching Sophia gently stroke Emma's hair, Michael realized they had already become a family, unconventional and unplanned, but real nonetheless. "I love you," he said simply, the words inadequate for the depth of feeling behind them. "Both as my brilliant boss and as the woman who's become essential to our lives." Sophia's eyes filled with tears. "I love you too. And Emma. I never thought I'd find this, a career I'm proud of and people to share it with." Their path forward wasn't straightforward. Sophia eventually restructured the company, moving Michael to a different department with a different supervisor to mitigate conflicts of interest. They faced judgment from some colleagues and clients. Emma had questions and occasional confusion about Sophia's role in their lives. 6 months into their relationship, Michael was offered a prestigious position at a competing firm, a genuine opportunity based solely on his growing reputation in the industry. "You should take it," Sophia encouraged, despite knowing it would remove the professional complications between them. "Your talent deserves recognition." "What about us?" Michael asked. "Us is separate from work. It always has been, even when we tried to pretend otherwise." Michael accepted the position. Their relationship strengthened without the workplace dynamics complicating things. Emma blossomed with Sophia's influence in her life, gaining a female role model who balanced strength and tenderness. A year after that first kiss in Sophia's office, Michael proposed during a family picnic, with Emma holding the ring box and bouncing with excitement. "Are you sure?" Sophia asked, aware of the ghost of his first marriage that sometimes still lingered between them. "I'm sure that I want to build a future with you," Michael answered. "I'm sure that Emma needs you in her life. I'm sure that loving you doesn't diminish what came before, it honors it by showing that hearts can heal and grow." Their wedding was small but joyful, with Emma proudly serving as both flower girl and ring bearer. Sophia's company continued to thrive, as did Michael's career at his new firm. They navigated the complexities of blending their lives with honesty and patience. On their first anniversary, Sophia presented Michael with a bound collection of their early campaign notes and sketches, the paper trail of their beginning. "Remember when you said, 'You're my boss, we shouldn't do this?'" she teased. "Remember when you just called me hot instead of addressing my very valid concerns?" he countered with a smile. "I stand by that assessment," Sophia laughed. "But I was wrong about one thing." "What's that?" "I said I'd never been more certain about anything in my life. But I'm more certain now, certain that breaking those conventional rules was the best decision we ever made." Their story wasn't perfect. It was messy and complicated and full of moments that tested their commitment. But it was real, a testament to the fact that sometimes the most meaningful relationships come when we least expect them, even when all the logical reasons say they shouldn't happen. Sometimes, the heart knows better than the rulebook. Sometimes, the most beautiful families are the ones we build ourselves, piece by unexpected piece.